Okay, I'd like to welcome you to the forum for the Democratic primary for the City Clerk of Urbana. My name is Crowley, and on behalf of the League of Women Voters, the NAACP, and the News Gazette, we welcome you to this forum. Before we get started, I'd just like to provide a little information about the February 23rd consolidated primary. The voting for the primary is I think almost underway, or will be very, very soon. So you can vote by mail, you can vote at the early voting locations, and you can vote at your polling place on election day. Because there are likely to be many, many fewer voters, the county clerk has consolidated some of the polling places. So before you go out to vote on election day, you can check your polling place at the county clerk's website. It's very, very simple. So I encourage you to vote for February 23rd. And we're going to get started. Okay. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we're unfortunately not presenting this forum in person, but we have received many questions from residents, and I will be asking them of the candidates. The order for the candidates is going to be alphabetical. So Ms. Ammons will go first, and then Ms. Clark. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes for an opening statement, and then I'll ask questions submitted prior to the forum, and candidates will have 1 minute to answer those questions. And at the end, each candidate, again, will have 2 minutes for a closing statement. So let's start with, candidates will kindly refrain from any negative attacks on any other candidate and will not mention the other candidate by name, and speak only to what they plan to do if elected to the office. So Ms. Ammons, opening statement, 2 minutes.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the Women League of Voters, the News Gazette, and the NAACP for putting this on. I am Titianna Ammons. I am running for Urbana City Clerk. I'm going to do my best to focus on your questions this evening, but today's events in our nation's capital have been on my mind all day. I am running for office because I believe in the freedom and promise of democracy. And if you are watching this, you do too. What happened today was nothing short of an attack on our freedom and our democracy, and we must respond. We must respond with action, with education, and with the strongest tool at our disposal, our vote. I believe the clerk's office is an advocate for the citizens. Their role is to provide access, transparency, and engagement. As city clerk, these will be my priorities: ensuring that the public has access to the documents they are entitled, providing clarity and transparency to the workings of the Urbana city government, and increasing the voter turnout for the municipal elections, and making it more accessible for the candidates, and to find the documents and the resources they need to run for local office. I have lived in Urbana for over 20 years, and I am married with 2 children. I'm a wife and a mother, a student, and a dancer and entrepreneur, and I want to be your next city clerk because democracy requires full participation to protect it. But I'd like to do more by helping residents navigate the office, increase voter turnout in municipal elections because they matter. And finally, I'd like to educate young people about city government and the resources it should provide. This is my home and my community, and I look forward to serving as your city clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clark? You're muted.
Okay, I just want to tell you just a little bit about me. I've been married to Lee Clark for 54 years. I have 3 children, 2 daughters-in-law, and 8 grandchildren. I'll give you a little bit about my experience as city clerk. I was elected in 1993 for the first time. I have served 24 years and I retired in 2017. I was reappointed in June 2020. I have received my designation as Certified Municipal Clerk and Master Municipal Clerk from the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. I served as Secretary, Treasurer, President of the Central Illinois Municipal Clerks Organization. I served as President of the Municipal Clerks of Illinois. I've received the Ilian Crable Municipal Clerk of the Year designation. I was appointed to serve on the Institute Training Committee for developing training seminars for the Municipal Clerks of Illinois. I am a former member of the Illinois Association of Parliamentarians. I have been a presenter for the Municipal Clerks of Illinois on duties and responsibilities of the clerk in the municipality. I have presented parliamentary procedures for the Back to the Basics seminars for newly elected clerks. I served on the Legislative Committee for the Municipal Clerks of Illinois for the Illinois Municipal League. I am a faithful member of Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, where I serve on the Board of Trustees. I am chair of their culinary committee, and I am a member of the committee for the rebuild of our sanctuary, which we lost by fire 2 years ago. He's talking about transparencies and the things that goes on in the clerk's office. Everything that my opponent has said, we already do. So that's not a new process. However, we continue to keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. And so we'll start with the questions, and we'll start with Ms. Ammons. Could you describe the duties of the city clerk's office? Ms. Ammons? Are we, I don't think she's hearing me. Do other people hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Ms. Ammons, could you describe the duties of the city clerk's office?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so the duties of the office involve records management. The duties of the office also require civic engagement, voter registration in local elections. It also requires us to deal with FOIA, educating the community about FOIA processes. It also requires us to run local elections, making sure that paperwork is correct. It also requires us to do outreach and community engagement around local elections. That will be something that I would be required to do in working with the county clerk. I would also want to make sure that we do best practice, and my opponent said that they are already dealing with transparency. So I want to make sure that we increase that even more, supplying more technology and utilizing that more with the council. Utilizing that more with the council and increasing the technology that they're currently using. Thank you.
Okay. And Ms. Clark, could you describe the duties of the city clerk's office? Jonna, I think you have.
Am I on now?
No, she's
Okay.
Okay. The duties of the city clerk is set by statute. Okay, it tells us what we can do. And yes, records management is one of it. Not only are you supposed to know how to manage those records, but you also need to know about Open Meetings Act, FOIA, and those things. So we're already doing those things now. However, when Mr. Smythe was in there for the 3 years prior to my being reappointed, he increased a lot of the technology that was used prior to me, and now it is so much better, and things are being done so much quicker. I appreciate him for that, and we're going to keep these things done as we move forward. We work closely with the mayor and the city council. We keep their records Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Clark.
Mhm.
Okay, and starting with Ms. Clark, many of the duties that the city clerk has are administrative in nature. And in many cities, the office of city clerk is not an elected office. Could you describe why the office of city clerk for Urbana should be elected or not, in your opinion?
I believe that an elected office is done specifically to give the people of this municipality the right to choose whom it is that they want to represent them. Yes, there are a lot of them that are not elected offices, but with the city clerk's office being an elected one, I work specifically for the citizens of Urbana. I work with the mayor and with the council, but my main responsibility is providing for the citizens of Urbana, and that's what we do.
Thank you. And Ms. Ammons, do you want me to repeat the question? Many of the duties of the office are administrative, and are there reasons why, and in many other cities, that office is not elected? Are there reasons why the city clerk of Urbana should be elected? And if so, what are they?
The city clerk should absolutely be elected for independent and accountability. The voters should choose who runs their elections and maintains their records. We provide access to city documents. So the constituents should get to choose that.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Ammons, please talk about your past work experience that you feel has prepared you for the city clerk position.
There are many things that qualify me for the city clerk. I have experience maintaining records and navigating state regulations through my medical background. I have started and built my own business and have years working with community members to organize around issues that are important to us in an effective manner. My work leading the census effort in the county was crucial to ensuring our social services receive the funding they need. As city clerk, I will utilize the experience and skills of the staff in the office. What they need now is an energetic and motivated leader who will support them in their work. What truly qualifies me to be city clerk is that I am a member of the community who cares about their neighbors and will make the clerk's office a resource for the community. I will move the office past past doing what is the bare minimum. I will make it a priority to increase the low voter turnout in local elections. And under my watch, the city clerk's office will be an access point to citizens who want to be engaged in their local government.
Thank you. Ms. Clark, could you talk about your past work experience that you feel has prepared you for this office? And you're muted, so.
Okay, I worked for John Hancock Financial Services for 10 years prior to being elected as municipal clerk for the city of Urbana. My work experience is the 24 years that I have already served as city clerk. I serve the citizens of Urbana with grace and dignity. I am always aware of what's going on around me and how I represent the city and what the things that I do, how does it reflect on the city? Those are the kinds of things that I feel make me the best person for this position. I run a very smooth office and I run a very efficient office. It's not a lot of us in there, but the three of us that's there, we work cohesively together, and we do that specifically to serve the people of the city of Urbana in order to make their experiences when they come to the city clerk's office as hassle-free as possible. We're professional and we're transparent.
Okay. And Ms. Clark, as city clerk, how do you plan to increase public access to records, especially police records?
Okay. First of all, we have a process. When someone comes to get information, whether it's via computer, whether it's via coming in and facing us face to face, we take the request for their information, we log it, we apply a number to it, and we get it onto the department that's supposed to handle it. We make sure that that department returns the information to us in the timely manner that it's supposed to. Personally, the city clerk's office does not go into the departments and search those records for what is being asked for. We do, however, give the information, the request to that department, and we monitor how long it takes to get that information back, and then we process it. It's a time period, 5 days, until there's a request that is tremendously volume. Then they have to ask for an extension. And those are the things that we do. There's nothing that the clerk's office can do to make it any more expedient than to handle it and get it where it needs to be on a timely manner.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And Ms. Ammons, as city clerk, how do you plan to increase public access to records, especially police records?
First, I would begin a process of public education on what FOIA is and how it works so that citizens have a reasonable expectation. I would also work with the appropriate city departments to make sure they understand how FOIA works. I will use technology to provide records more readily and quicker. There is only so much a city clerk can do to produce the documents.
Thank you. And so, Ms. Ammons, in June of 2020, handling of Urbana FOIA requests was largely moved away from the clerk's office and into the city legal department. And the mayor assigned a retired police officer to handle FOIA requests, and public access was significantly clamped down, resulting in numerous complaints and lawsuits. Do you think the public records process should be put back in the hands of the city clerk? And if so, how would you see that done?
Yes, I do believe that it should be moved back to the city clerk's office. I will start by working with the mayor's office, but it would need to take legal steps for it to return back to the city clerk's office. In order for that to happen, I would need to, of course, learn the appropriate process in order for that to be ran smoothly, and then educate the community about the process in order for that to be done.
Thank you. And Ms. Clark, I'll repeat the question. In June of 2020, handling of Urbana FOIA requests was largely moved away from the clerk's office and into the city legal department. The mayor assigned a retired police officer to handle FOIA requests, and public access was significantly clamped down, resulting in numerous attorney general complaints and lawsuits. Do you think the public records process should be put back in the hands of the city clerk? And if so, how would you get that done?
Well, first of all, there's a misconception. The city clerk's office does not handle the information that people are asking for. We take the request for the information, we process that through a particular thing, we take it, we assign it a number, and we get it to the department that handles that kind of information. Say, for instance, police department or something from the mayor's office. It was getting to the point with the volume of requests that was being asked for in the clerk's office, or through freedom of information, I should say, was getting to be a little bit more legal in the way that it should have been handled. That's the reason why the mayor moved it, not move the FOIA stuff from the city clerk's office. That's not going anywhere. However, the information that's being sought went to legal department, and that was the purpose, to find out what was legal, what could be released and what could not. However, some of the things that they did not want to release, I didn't feel was necessary not to do.
Okay, thank you. And this is the last question, then we'll go to closing statements. If FOIA related budget reductions are necessary because of revenue losses, and it would require you to reduce the office's expenditures, what would you do? Ms. Clark.
Oh, is it my turn? It's me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you repeat the question? I wasn't really.
Budget reductions are necessary due to FOIA-related revenue losses. What would you do to reduce the expenditures of the office?
Of the city clerk's office?
City clerk's office.
First, you need to understand that the city clerk's office is the smallest budget in the entire city. There's absolutely nothing that you can take from the clerk's office. Our office, we don't spend money. We don't have money to spend. So we try to figure out a way to remove something from the clerk's office so that we could add something to the budget at one time, but the only thing we could remove was travel. And that was dealing with training for certifications. But there's absolutely no fluff in the city clerk's office that can be moved anywhere. Yeah, if you take any money out of the city clerk's office, you might as well just eliminate the office. There's nothing else to do.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Ammons, do you want me to repeat the question?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That is a very specific question. I know for me, the cutting of staffing would not be an option for me. I'm not understanding why the office would be dependent on FOIA revenue. As far as I'm concerned, there should be an investment in the clerk's office the same way we invest in the police department.
Okay, thank you. So now we have a closing statement. So Ms. Ammons, you will go first. Ms. Ammons, closing statements.
First, I would like to thank the League of Women Voters again, Champaign County and the NAACP, the Champaign County branch for organizing and hosting this forum. It is invaluable in providing insight for voters, and it is no easy task for accomplishing during a pandemic. In the last half hour, I have enumerated how I am incompetent and qualified for administrative tasks of this position. But what I hope you take away tonight is that as city clerk, I will be doing more than the bare minimum. The clerk has many important responsibilities, maintaining city documentation and taking record of council meetings, providing notification of public access to programs and FOIA information, and assisting the county clerk in executing the municipal local election. In the past 20 years, the voter turnout rate for local elections in the Urbana has been an abysmal 25%. As city clerk, I will prioritize an increasing voter participation through education and engagement, and not just during election cycles. We need to have and educate and inform electorate and ensure we have local government that reflects our values and priorities. For the last 20 years, the office has been doing the bare minimum to meet their legal obligations, and that is not acceptable to me. I will change the philosophy of the office to demonstrate it is an access point and resource for citizens. The office will not be an obstacle, but a resource. Early voting opens January 14th, and vote by mail is available for this election. Please vote for me, Titianna Ammons, for Urbana City Clerk. Thank you and good evening.
Oops. Thank you, Ms. Ammons. Ms. Clark, your closing.
All right. Again, thank you all for allowing us this opportunity to speak to you. You know, with 24 years of service and actually another year since Mr. Smythe has been gone, there's a lot of things that have changed. The city clerk's office have met those needs. We are all in this thing together. We are here specifically for the citizens. We provide all of the information that is needed by the citizens of Urbana, and we will continue to do so. The only thing left that I can actually say is that, you know, being an elected official is more than just lip service. You got to do what you have to do to maintain what you have to maintain to make things run specifically like they're supposed to in the city. We have nothing to do with voter registration other than registering someone should they come to our office. All that I actually have to leave you all with tonight is there's a time and a place for all kinds of change. With the many issues that the city is facing today, experience in maintaining continuity is what the citizens of Urbana will get by allowing me to retain my position as city clerk. I am dedicated to making sure that respect, dignity, professionalism, transparency will always be a part of their experience while interacting with the clerk's office. Please understand that our position is to do the best that we can do for the citizens of Urbana. That's our first choice, and that's what we do.
Thank you, Ms. Clark.
Mhm.
And with that, we will be closing this forum. I'd like to thank again the League of Women Voters, the NAACP, and the News Gazette for sponsoring the forums. A special thanks to Michelle Cooper for keeping us on track, and also to John Von Behrens for putting this whole series together. And information about viewing the forum will be on our website. It should be posted on our YouTube page and YouTube channel and Facebook page within a few days. And also encourage people to visit votechampaign.org, where there's candidate information, and the forums are attached to the candidate information on that website. So with that, good night, and thank you very much.